Is autofocus gonna work? Okay, that's great. Um, hmm. I've got plenty of cable to go around. Well, let's see, where can I put this? Ah, there? Yep, that makes the most sense. So let's shut this down now. Close that, that too, that, save, restart. There we go. Nope. No, damn it, I said shut down, hell. There we go. Okay, let's see. Anybody watching? Not by the looks of it. Alright, this needs to shut up. Um, there we go. Ta-da. Kind of works. I'll pull that off. So, would this look better? That's probably the best angle I can do right now. Yeah, that's not gonna get better. So should I introduce it? I don't know how many people are watching. This is freaking useless. Oh, there's one person watching. Really? Not great. Okay. So let's get this thing started. And I'm just gonna start with right. I guess an overview of the system would be a good idea to start with. La di da di da. Oh, you have got to be joking. Please don't be one of those days. Let's see. Reset. Nope. Okay, retry. Um. Okay, Twitch, you're being very not useful, so let's just do it this way. There we go, it's starting. Alright, need to disconnect the extra monitor. Ta-da! There we go. Rolling. So we're in the BIOS. At least that much is working. How does it look on Twitch? Okay, Twitch looks fine. Just gonna... There we go. So that, and submit. And here we go. Okay, so let's get this started. And there's nobody watching right now. Oh, there we go, 4 people. Okay, so hello, whoever turned up for the stream. Let's first have a look at me. So I'm BuildZoid. Okay, so that is centered on me. So I'm BuildZoid, and this is going to be 3-way Fury X's versus Firestrike. So I guess I'll just go over the system right now. It's just loaded into the BIOS. Yeah. Sorry about the camera work. Also, sorry about the sound well, actually, tell me about the sound quality in the comments on the Twitch stream, because I'm not sure how good it is. I haven't done a sound check. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just going to go over the system right now, because, you know, that just sort of makes sense. So, ignore all the mess, please, and let's get over to the System, do I have it aimed? Okay, so here's the build. Is it gonna focus properly? Yeah, it's focusing. There we go. So here we can see I have one power supply just sitting here, so that's my V1000. Um, that's powering one of the Fury X's. It's there because I actually managed to overstrain the 1600 watt EVGA G2 I have. So yeah, the 5960X is really, really power hungry, and it doesn't help that all the Fury X's have capacitor mods on them and, you know, higher V cores. So yeah, for RAM, I'm running just Crucial Ballistic Sports. These are spec to 2400, 16. So these, right? Will it focus? Will I hold it steady enough to focus? Oh, I guess that works. So those are just 2400, 16, 16, 16, 39 sticks, but they're good enough for 2800 CL10 for benchmarking, and I use them daily at 2800 CL11. They do give me some problems with booting up consistently, but they work. They don't crash, so that's what I care about. Yeah, so cooling wise, the 396. Yeah, okay, that's still. Yeah, okay, the camera's still live. Cooling wise and CPU wise, so the 5960X here, it can do about 4.9 gigahertz on 1.475 volts. It won't run Signbench at that level. I think it might be a heat issue more than like voltage, like quality issue, but yeah, it's been, it was very expensive. It's the second 5960X I bought. Um, yeah, and it runs around 4.9. The cooling loop, so this is a 480 millimeter radiator. EK, everything is EK. EK pump, EK radiator, EK block, EK fittings. Just the tubing is XSPC. So yeah, these front fans, those are 2.5K RPM. What's their thermal rights. I really like these. These are really quiet at around 2,200 RPM. They're really, really quiet. And at 2,500 RPM, they're loud as hell, but the performance is totally worth it. Now, these aren't the only two fans on the radiator. I'm going to try show you behind. So down there in the gap, will it work? Yeah, so that's behind the radiator. And there's another fan. You can just faintly see it. And then there's another fan just down on this end here. So that's another fan. That's just a fan from a Hyper 212 Evo. And you might be like, oh my god, all the fans are like mismatched and stuff. Well, that's what happens when I couldn't be bothered with paying money for more fans. Um, yeah, so I have a 70 millimeter fan around it, like just sitting here. So that's there to keep the RAM happy, the VRM happy, and just basically help with cooling. Ideally, I want to get two 120s to just like cover the motherboard in fan. Um, yeah. The V1000's just hooked off the EVGA PSU tester clip. So basically that just shorts the power good signal out. So yeah, this basically just runs like this. And about the graphics card layout. So I bought a Rampage because I really wanted to run the cards every other slot. And the Rampage has 516 size PCIe's, right? So you see that black one? I don't know actually if you can see it. So yeah, that's a 2 slot gap. And those cards are like bent. Well, they're like forced apart with that zip tie there, and this screw has a little bit of give on it so that the cards have a gap in between so I can shove air on the VRM on the second card. Because that's actually like a real pain to, like, even with the water cooling, it's not good enough. The VRMs on these things still run really, really hot, and I'd rather not burn the cards out. And I think it's getting a little dark in here, so I'm just going to turn on a second light for myself. That works. Okay, yeah. So that's that. The Fury X radiators are just hooked up on a 480 millimeter radiator cover. That works actually pretty good. I just have something to keep it steady because it's flimsy as hell. Yeah, but the radiators perform fine like that, so, you know, why would I care? So let's get actually to benchmarking, I guess. The plan for today is to beat a few scores. Maybe take the three-way Fire Strike 3Dmark score, like official 3Dmark, so that means I'm going to have to reinstall drivers because I'm on Windows 10 with 16.3.1, and those aren't approved. 3Dmark only approved the 16.3.2s, which is really annoying. Like, seriously, they need to approve more drivers for 3Dmark because it's ridiculous. When it's like, they're perfectly good drivers. Oh well, let's get into the OS, I guess. I'm just gonna load up a profile at this point because I've already. Do you people care more about watching the screen with Firestrike on it, or more about the system actually? Yeah. The system's fine. So there we go. So I'll just load up the profile I have for 3Dmark, which should be the last one. 8. Yes. So let's go to the extreme tweaker, and now it should be, yeah. So we have 49 there, 46. I'm actually really happy with the cache I got out of the system. Because 40, like, yeah, and I think you can hear the fans have kicked on. So let me get the camera again. So here's the BIOS settings. I really need to get that, let's see, I'm gonna try get, actually no, I'll give up on that right now. So 49, 46 cache. This is actually pretty hard to do. 2800 memory. Let's see. Yeah, that'll focus. 1.475 volts on every, like, yeah, cache and vCore. 1.16 system agent, 2 input, and 1.65 on both RAM sticks. So yeah, those are basically the settings that run 2800 CL10 for this system. So let's see if this boots up, because it probably won't. Let's roll. That's not good. Nah, that was just the system. There we go. Okay, so I have... what's it doing now? This should boot right up. I benched on these. God, this motherboard. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's like X99 has so far been an absolute nightmare with consistency. It's like I can have a set of settings that works for ages and ages and ages. I save them and then I load them up and they don't work. Oh, and it decided to work again. So yeah, I'm only running one monitor because obviously driving 2 monitors puts extra load on the graphics cards, and that's not useful when I'm just running Firestrike. And let's get into Windows. And I'm running Windows 10 for this. Now you might be like, if you're from the r/overclocking hardware bot team, then you're obviously aware that Windows 10 is a... Screw that. La-di-da. Noxious piece of trash. There we go. So Windows 10 is here. Let's see. Can I get this any closer? This is really awkward for me. Yeah, so I use tricks to do everything. I'm just gonna pull out the camera again because this is really painful to do. There we go. Yeah, so I use tricks for everything. As you can see, it already loaded up 1100 megahertz. So why I use tricks? Tricks remembers your settings when you crash, which is really nice because it just asks you if you want to reload your crashed settings. Other than that, the system is running, let's see. All right, so my BIOS, right there. All right, so that's my usual BIOS. Oh, I get really quiet. That might be the mic position. I'm on a set of headphones here, so yeah. I used to have everything over the camera, but that was worse. There we go. There, that should be better for the sound. So yeah, that's my own custom BIOS, 600 watts, 400 amps. You can't get this one. I've never put this one out because it's not safe in my opinion for daily use. 1.3 volts core voltage and 1.36 volts HBM. So this BIOS is absolutely freaking awesome because it can run 600 megahertz HBM stable on all 3 of my graphics cards. So yeah, and I need to figure out some inefficiencies with 3Dmark that I have. So I want to do Firestrike Extreme today, and I want to do Firestrike. And I think I'm just going to start right off with Extreme and just load up 600 HBM right off the bat. And actually, need to get the cards synchronized. There we go. So now all 3 of them should be... Yep, okay, so all 3 of them are now 600 HBM. Also, if you've been reading about, like, well, if you've been watching any news about Fury X overclocking, then you would know that there is basically an AMD representative went on some forum, which I can't remember, where he said there are set memory dividers which go 500, 545, 600, 666. Between 500 and 600, the performance like goes up, basically up to 570. Then it stops and it jumps at 580. Right? It jumps hard at 580, and 580 basically I think slams to 600. And then above 600, you don't get any performance gain until you hit 634, which basically rounds up to 666, and that's really unstable. And actually, I can't even run the desktop in at 666 because the Fury X's don't downclock memory. Wait, there we go. They don't downclock the memory clock because you have 6. It's so efficient. There's no point downclocking it, so there's no low memory frequency profiles on the cards. They just run maximum HBM clock all the time, so if I do something like, say, 650, I get screen corruption really quickly. This might even crash right now, because as you can see, yeah, it gets screen corruption even at desktop because it's running full speed already. So there we go. Let's just go back to stable clocks. Let's finally run some 3Dmark just to see what the baseline is for this setup. So, oh yeah, and for AMD driver settings, since this is not an approved driver, and I'm running this for hardware bot rules, and I keep slamming into the mic. So hardware bot rules. So basically, I have everything set up to try be as ugly as possible. I don't think this does anything, nor does this really do anything for performance. The shader cache for me, it doesn't do much. So yeah, power efficiency off, crossfire, yeah, maximum tessellation level to off, because, hardware bot rules. So let's run extreme. Hopefully it won't crash on this first run. I mean, we're basically just above stock. Yeah, so if anybody's got any questions about basically anything, then now you can ask away, because, there's not going to be much for me to do right now. Ah, so far so good. No artifacts. Also, if anybody's wondering about temperatures, the Fury X's stay ridiculously cool throughout. Okay, yeah, so you can see some of like the artifacting a little bit, but that's all the HBM. So yeah, but the cards stay really, really cool. Oops. This tripod is really not great to have right next to me, and did it just crash? Huh, I guess extreme is too heavy. Yep, that crashed. Um, well, this is probably how it's going to go for the rest of the stream. It's going to be a whole lot of crash, run, crash, run, crash, run. Changing Encore on Haswell's. Basically, just don't touch the Encore. Just like Encore is a pain to work with. I generally try to stick around 4 gigahertz and just throw a ton of voltage at it. But if you can't get it properly stable, just drop it as low as you need to. because it really, like, it doesn't do anything for performance for the most part. I run high on core because, well, benchmarking, and it gives me like plus 100 points or something in physics. I'm pretty sure this was stable, so... Oh, it's decided it's going to be up there. R9, 270X, GPU tweak, switch to tricks, or would it make... So, about, tricks versus... God damn it, Windows, shut up. We're not going to be checking disks. Yeah, about switching from tricks to afterburner. You can try either of them. It probably won't make a difference though. Okay, well, I'm annoyed because that just crashed 600 HPM. Will this be stable at stock? So here's the thing. Depending on how a Fury X crashes, you could usually guess what went wrong with it. And black screens generally mean bad core clock, which sucks. And also, the two other cards in the system are stuck at 1.4 volts because I screwed up a volt mod on them. So I'm just going to drop the voltages on them. Oh, and we're not using my super epic version of tricks. So yeah, well, whatever. Let's just synchronize them all and apply. And don't sync. Go to the first one, set this one back to 0, and apply. And now, there we go. Yeah, so the voltages are set up correct, and run. I really hope this doesn't crash. So, with the volt mod on the Fury X's, I suspect that, like, there's a ceramic capacitor that hooks the V-Sense to ground, and I think it's really temperature sensitive. So when I hit it with 300 centigrade, because I'm using unleaded solder, they don't sell leaded. So I hit it with 300 degrees, and I think what happened is that capacitor just basically dropped its resistance, because basically the moment after I did the mod, like, I didn't even screw anything up. Like, I took extra care the second time around. And basically, just by touching the freaking voltage sensing circuit, the resistance went down. And the card got stuck at 1.39. So, yeah. Um, so one of the cards is stuck at 1.39. One of them might be stuck at like 1.4 something. Um, looks stable to me. Hmm. Yeah, it looks like I put too much HBM. That's really annoying. I mean, I kind of expected Firestrike Extreme to not run the same clocks as Firestrike, because, you know, higher resolution, more work, obviously not going to be as stable, but I was really hoping I could run 600 megahertz HBM, since I'm really not efficient. Uh, well, no, the caps didn't do anything. Caps didn't screw up the volt mod. It's the voltage sense circuit. Like the third card, right? That has caps on it. That card's fine. Well, no, my primary card, no volt mod attempt, has caps on it, works fine. The other cards I tried to volt mod, and they're just boned. So, did physics just crash? Physics crashed. Oh well, at least it'll show us some scores. 25K graphics. I don't know if that's good or if that's really, really bad. Let me get a look. This is not going to be fun. It looks like I'll need to make a BIOS with even more voltage. Which I don't really mind, but yeah. Let's see, what's my old score for three-way? No, that's Firestrike. I need Firestrike E. Where's Extreme? 2 Firestrike, 3 Firestrike. 21K total. What was the GPU score? 26,000. Okay. Huh, so that's actually really bad. So let's start Going up. I don't have Turbo V Core on this. This is gonna crash if I run it again. Oh well, so let's just restart. So, oh, highest 5960X. We're basically at it. And yeah, 1.5 volts for 4.6 on all cores is kind of terrible for an FX chip. Yeah, I can't bench this 5960X higher without better. Well, basically, I think I need to go sub-zero if I want to get anywhere now. And I'm just going to drop the uncore, because that's really the only thing that could be super unstable on this thing right now. I don't want to drop the core clock, because that just kills my scores. So let's keep rolling. Yeah, 4.8 at 1.5 volts for an FX is about average. Well, slightly below, depending on which FX we're talking, because AMD does kind of bin the chips a little. So let's see. Oops, I forgot to get into Windows 10. I really hope it was the Encore that killed physics. Dude, Killer Disturbed, your saber is like a mystery. To like everybody who knows your saber tooth thinks it's like messed up because I run mine with Plastidip on it and it runs cooler than yours. Damn it, Windows, shut up. How many does it not realize I'm never gonna say must be some kind of setting I could change to get that to okay, well, let's get 3Dmark running again. I guess I could just run physics to see if that's stable now. Because obviously the graphics cards are fine at this point. That's memory. La-di-da. I love X99. X99 is like the best platform ever. It keeps complaining and moaning and just breaking itself all the damn time. I'm just gonna lower the RAM clock well, no, timings. C250 there, and let's go down 1.5, 1.6. This should work at this point. Up, and 1.5, 1.5. I'm not gonna kill my sticks just for this. There we go. Hopefully everything is stable enough to run. And damn it, shut up. So one thing I don't like about the way I did my water cooling loop is that I have the pump resting on one of the fans and it rattles. Also, one of the fans has a broken blade, so it's like not balanced and it rattles on its own. Okay, I'll just run physics. Actually, no, screw that. Too many settings. Just run. Pass on stock clocks and hopefully go from there. Da-di-da. This run should score really low on the first passes for graphics because the cards are stuck at really high voltage, and that generally ruins efficiency. And I've talked to some other people who've been messing around with multiple Fury X's, and basically the conclusion is, run, well, that I should test Windows 7 with 16.3.2. So that's basically what I'll be doing if nothing goes well. Well, I don't think I'll do a Windows install on stream. That's just boring. So the interesting thing about this segment of 3Dmark is one of my cards doesn't render like 90% of the particles on this test, which gives it a really, really high score. So when I'm going to be doing one-way graphics cards, I'm going to run the card which doesn't render on second because it's just like it scores way higher even though it clocks like crap. Because it doesn't render like the particle effects, and it's like that's not my fault. That card, it's like, yeah, the efficiency. I mean, efficiency in quotation marks, because it literally just doesn't render stuff. Um, and physics passed, so that means I got the CPU to behave. So let's see what I get as a baseline score. I'm working. So my current Fire Strike Extreme 3-way is 21K, and that's like the 27th score on the hardware bot rankings, and I'd really like to break the 20s. So I need to break like, I mean, if I could get into the top 10, that'd be really cool, but I don't think this operating system is currently efficient enough to do that. We're getting really good FPS on this test. Like well, that's 3 graphics cards. That doesn't really change anything. Yeah, ideally I'd want to get over 24,000. Also, this camera is way, wait, I'll try get better image. Nope, that's there. Let's see, menu. I'll try get the video to be halfway decent. Can I get it? Oh, that didn't help enough, did it? Let's see. I'll try. Okay, so that's 20K 898 right now. Yeah, I'll just pull you out. So there we go. So that's my current score. And physics is good. That's 23. That's basically as high as I can do on physics. And yeah, that's basically just the GPU bottleneck at that point right now. Or it might be some kind of weird instability, but yeah, that might. 25K, so that's about the same as my old score. Well, no, my old score is 26K here, so yeah, obviously not the greatest. So now I'll get the graphics cards to behave, synchronize, and drop the voltages, because again, some of them are jammed, and I use synchronize because 2 of them are jammed, and I don't really care about setting them individually. So pull this one back up, because this is my first graphics card, right? So this one needs to be at 0, but the other 2 need to be at negative voltages, otherwise they don't work properly. And let's do another run, because again, I broke the other 2 with volt mods. So let's just go for another pass. Hopefully graphics scores should be way up. If it's not way up, then I've screwed something up like way bad, so yeah. Yeah, it looks like FPS is up. Stability is still good, so that's nice. Um, yeah, yep. Yep, I think we have like plus 10 FPS basically from me just fixing the voltages, so that's good. So far, so good. For Firestrike, I'm number 18 because Firestrike is really CPU heavy and all that. But yeah. And other than that, it's like, and again, my efficiency on the graphics cards is just crap. I still need to bin operating system and drivers. Windows 10 seems to be absolutely the best for single GPU, but from what I've heard, it's worse for multi GPU for whatever reason. So, about the coil whine with my Fury X's, they do whine, sometimes. I generally don't care. And one of them has Plasti Dip on the VRMs to try get them to shut up. Um, but I noticed it's not actually the V-Core or the, like, it's not the big VRMs that are whining. It's the HBM one, which is just like, what the hell? But since I've added the capacity, like right now, they're dead silent. So, yeah, right now they're dead silent, and I think that's just because it's Firestrike. I know, there's like some really low load games I play where the cards push like 200 plus FPS, and basically I can make music with that by just pointing the camera because they sing. They absolutely sing in that. So it looks like my efficiency's up, so that's good. Um, and that's finish. And I'll just pull you for the score. And hey, we're basically on top of my record at this point. So 25k, physics went down a little, combined went up. So basically combined needs more GPU power. GPU, more GPU power and basically, and combined really has the most impact on on basically the 3Dmark scores. So more GPU speed. And I know these three will bench. I can bench normal Firestrike at 1190 on two of the cards and at 1180 on one of the cards, but I don't think it's gonna do that for all three of them right now. So I'm just gonna pull them up to 1150 by 550. If the instability last time was, let's just do this. 550 like that and apply. Now, wait, did it change? Yeah, all the voltages synced up, so that means I need to drop the volts again. You might be like, wait, no, first card, desync, and run it down. So if you know anything about the way Crossfire works with AMD graphics cards, you know you can run asymmetrical GPU clocks. So you can have like one card at say 1150 and 1150 550 and another card at 1150 600. And the thing about that is you can run different core clocks and it doesn't do anything. But if you run different HBM clocks, it tends to cause all kinds of weird issues. And basically when I was testing two graphics cards, it absolutely killed performance. It went all the way to hell. And I think it's because, when you're doing Crossfire, it's alternate frame rendering. And I think there was some kind of disconnect with trying to sync up the memories or something. So yeah, you can run different core clocks, but it doesn't the scaling isn't great with different core clocks. And you can't run different HBM. I mean, you can, it's stable, but it doesn't perform, so, don't. Um, and this is pretty much unique to the Fury cards because I've never seen it happen on any other cards that I've run in Crossfire. Like memory clock on other cards, like 290Xs and a 290, I could run whatever the hell I wanted on either card and it was fine. It just seems to be that HBM doesn't like running different clocks between the two cards. I should get like kilowatts for the system, but to see how much power it's drawing, because right now You know, it should be pumping out a lot of heat, and especially on the combined, everything goes to hell. Actually, I can't even pass the first graphics card test if I run one power supply. So, yeah. And that's really weird. So basically, my estimates for power draw right now would be like 500 per graphics card, 500 watts per graphics card, and the 5960X could probably be doing around 600. Um, Thoughts on Polaris and Pascal? Well, or Pascal or whatever. So, and Broadwell E. 6950X, 10 cores. Do you know how fucking annoyed I am? It's like the 6950X is basically like, yay, all my 3Dmark high score. Within a week, I'll be back to like top 50 or something like that. So that's not making me happy. Um, but yeah, the 6950. I so here's the thing. The 6950, there's a good chance that might be a full pot, like full pot LN2 chip, because the 14 nanometer Intel stuff doesn't have a cold bug, which is pretty cool. 6950, there's a good chance that might be a full pot, like full pot LN2 chip, because the 14 nanometer Intel stuff doesn't have a cold bug, which is pretty cool. Like you can bench Skylake full pot, but Skylake has a problem where full pot you get bad thermal contact. So yeah, and let's see. So yeah, so benchmark, yay, 22K, but physics is down and combined is up. Huh, that's not too bad. Okay, so I'll save this one. So back on track with Broadwell E and the new stuff that's launching. So yeah, basically my broad thoughts on Broadwell E is like great. We might get a. I don't think there's going to be cheaper 8 cores. I really don't think Intel would do that. Because by the sounds of all the rumors I know, the 6950 is just going to be really, really expensive. It's going to be like $1,500. And so yeah, it's just Intel being Intel. And to be fair, who can blame them? People will buy it. It's like, here's the thing, because Intel has a problem with the fact that if they release a really high core count chip with an sorry about that, unlocked multiplier, it will eat into Xeon sales like really badly because you can already clock a 5960X to the point where it crushes a lot of the lower clocked 10 and 12 core Xeons, and it's cheaper than the lower clocked 10 core and 12 core Xeons. So if you don't need ECC or something that the 5960X doesn't support, it's a better option. With the 6950X, that again is a problem. So Intel prices its Extreme Editions in reference to the server chips, right? Not against consumer chips. So it's like, yeah. And then basically my hopes are that AMD puts out a 10 or 12 core Zen and I'll buy that instead. Um, yeah. So time to save the score. So here's the thing. I need to save, where did I put it? Okay, where's my map? No. Oh, wrong hard drive. That's why. No, it should be this one. Oh, whatever. I'll just put it here. Um, this is gonna be super awkward. Just FSE. No, Fury X. Sorry for my typing speed. FSC 3-way. There we go. And I need this because a hardware bot doesn't take validations from Windows 10 otherwise. And let's see. Because there's a bug on Windows 10 where you can slow down time by changing the BCLK because Microsoft engineers are freaking amazing. Let's take a screenshot, save that too. Save that and Fire Strike E, and I'll just put that on the end of it. 3-way, yeah, save. Okay, so that already beats my old high score, which is good. I really want to do a run at 600 HBM. I think that would be like great. if I can get it to work. Okay, let's try this. So I know card 1 should run 600 HBM fine. Card 3 should run 600 HBM fine. I don't think card 2 will do it, so let's see what happens. This could go really, really badly for performance, because again, asymmetrical HBM might break everything. So let's do that. Let's talk back to Polaris. So I basically went over all my thoughts on Broadwell E at this point. I think it's just going to be expensive, barely faster than Haswell E as far as IPC goes, and the only one you should really care about is the 10 core because it's a 10 core. For the graphics cards, I don't think Polaris is going to be better than what we currently have. Just like it's not going to be a flagship chip. It's not really that big. If you think about it, the Fury X is like 600 millimeters, square millimeters, which is huge. And even if they doubled the density of the transistors, right, they'd need like a 300 millimeter square chip, which there isn't a leak of currently. So Polaris looks to replace, basically, it's going to replace the Nano, completely replace the Nano, because the Nano is a really low clocked Fury X, and it's basically a terrible idea. Um, like price wise, it's a pain for AMD. I think the Fury X, because I mean the Fury Nano, because obviously it's like they can't get much profit out of the Nano. Yeah, and then here you can see how it's not rendering all the particles properly. And yeah, so basically the Nano is just like it's not very cost effective because it's not a cut chip. It's a full-sized Fury X at less than a Fury X with a crappy VRM, you know. Um, So I think the Nano is just kind of awkward. So it's going to replace the Nano. It's going to replace the 390X. It's going to replace the 390, and it's going to be really cheap. That's basically what I think it's going to be. Polaris. Polaris is going to be super, super cheap and just like massive performance because it's a very. I mean, on like first of all, the die is really small, but it's not going to like. Now, on the other hand, even with how small the die is, it like I don't know exactly what price point it might target, but it's going to be basically just good performance per dollar. Pascal, I have no idea. I don't watch Nvidia news that much. I think there's a leak of a 300 millimeter square chip or somewhere around that. So we might see something around the same performance level as a 980 Ti without the power draw basically from Nvidia. But you know, it'll come later than Polaris for one thing. And I don't think, and I basically think they're not going to be even like competing against each other. And this run is going really, really well. Yeah, there's the asymmetrical HBM eating all the FPS. There we go. So that finished. You know what I love is like check these temperatures, right? We just finished a run. The card's at 30 degrees. Like that's like that just makes me so happy, that AMD puts out a reference card. A reference card with a cooler that basically I don't have to care about getting a better cooling system because it just destroys the like temperatures. And physics is down again for some reason. I'm really annoyed about physics. Like physics being down is just obnoxious. Okay, so basically, all of the cards. Okay, I think if I bring up the last one to 600 there, and hopefully that won't crash. This is slightly higher than my old score, but it's not really worth writing home about. Um, my efficiency is still really crap. I'm getting like 27K right now. What's Pulse's? He's getting 28K at lower clocks. Like, I don't know. It's just like software tweaking never been one of my strong points. So let's just go up. Throw more gigahertz at it. That's how I do my tweaking. Um, yeah. There we go. And hit the last card. So there. And should I save this? This isn't really worth saving. I can probably replicate this in like 3 seconds. So let's close that. Close that. And run another one. I really need to do something about my efficiency. It's so weird. I need to Did it crash? Oh, that's not good. I'm starting to think I'm really gonna have to like use a different. No, it's booting. It's booting. That's good. Yeah, no, my thoughts on the Fury X right now are basically great hardware. Like the PCB is great, the cooler is great, the like even the core is good. You know, it's just for some reason there's retarded power management hooked up to it, so you can't run it with high voltages. Um, totally gonna work that. Oops, sorry, my camera. Oh, damn it. Hell, let's try a run on Windows 7. I mean, I don't know what version of the AMD driver this Windows version has, but let's try a run on it. Also, interestingly enough, Windows 10 seems to be more easily bootable than Windows 7. But this also has... Screw you! No, please. No. For some reason. No, please, 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 please. Yes! For some reason, that doesn't recognize my keyboard all that well. No, this is going to be a pain. I have so many hard drives. Well, I don't have so many hard drives. There's 3 hard drives in there. They have 6 partitions. Do they? Yeah, they're basically a crap ton of partitions. There we go. So this is my crappy Windows 7. And I'm pretty sure I need to reinstall this one here because it's just weird. There's so much broken stuff on it. So, yeah. So, I've already improved my old score. Let's just see if how this version of Firestrike does. Close, screw you. I need to know what drivers this is. I suspect it's also 16.3.1. And I think this is an okay install, but I'm not. No AMD graphics card driver is installed, or the AMD driver is not functioning properly, and that means we need to restart the computer. Yep. So that's simple. That's just because I never ran cross three-way on this. So that's not a problem. That's just a minor issue. Da, 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 da. So now it should have all the cards again. Whoop. Well, it found all the cards because it's not loading as fast. Yeah, that's a no. Why? Screw you! No. Yeah. Also, no, 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 no. We do not want to check no disks. I don't know why it asks me about that all the time. Close, close, and let's just run 3Dmark. Actually, let's check if... Still not working. Hmm. Hmm. Well, that ain't good. Okay. I'll just install new drivers. I don't even know what driver version this currently has, so, you know, it's not a problem. Let's get 16.3.2s. So these are approved by 3Dmark at least, so, you know. There we go. Yeah, just install them. And I bet the efficiency is going to be garbage. For some reason, you apparently, like, from what I've heard and, like, what I've sort of tested, well, not really, you basically need to run a fresh install of Windows with a fresh install of AMD drivers to get anything working properly. Like, get good scores, but hopefully it'll work. And this Windows 7 install is a mess. Okay, don't need Vulkan, don't need Evolved, don't need HDMI audio, don't need transcoding. I don't, yeah, okay, just install that. This should be decently fast. I think the check disk is coming up because I'm running that Windows 10 install and they hate each other. Because that Windows 10 install is basically just a separate hard drive with Windows 10 on it, and every time I switch from, like, after every time I use the Windows 10 install, it asks me to check disk, so, yeah. But I'm not going to do that now, so. Hopefully these drivers will perform properly. If they perform properly, and these are also 3Dmark approved, I'm going to go and, like, totally destroy the current best score for three-way Fury X's on 3Dmark's official site, on the official 3Dmark rankings, not on HardwareBot, because on HardwareBot, the guys actually know what they're doing. Restart now. Yeah, so currently I think the record for Fury X three-way on 3Dmark. Oh, that's regular Firestrike. Yeah, so three-way, it's 30K. And I did 33K, no tessellation. And I think even with tessellation, it won't be such a big difference. So, you know, I should be able to beat that. Nope, 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 nope. There we go. No. This tripod is really not great to work with. Like, I have it right next to me. So that's why I keep knocking into it. And Firestrike Extreme 3-way is 19K. Oh yeah, I'm smashing that. I'm so smashing that. Yeah, so that means three-way Crossfire works. So Crossfire and Windows 7 hate each other to some extent. Efficiency off, frame pacing off, tessellation. So, okay, what do people want me to do? Do you want to see me break the official 3Dmark or HardwareBot 3Dmark? Because I don't think I'm going to beat the HardwareBot one right now. So I just need to turn on tessellation and rock and roll. Close that. Is that on the chat yet? About Tess or no Tess? Quick. I don't know how much delay I have. Shouldn't be too much. Okay, you know what? I'll just do with tessellation. Let's see, tessellation, use application settings. There, that's not really that big of a deal. And let's just run 3Dmark. I really hope this gets a decent score. Firestrike, extreme or regular? I'll do extreme. It's prettier. You know, I might be able to beat this just because of how like stupid high my CPU clock is. Because if you look at the current Firestrike Extreme record, it's done. Oh, the GPU is not actually completely not super slow. Yeah, but the guy's running 4.6 gigahertz, whereas I'm running 4.9 with a 5960X, so that gives me a massive and very unfair advantage. That FPS is really bad right now. I'm pretty sure it's because of the voltage. That's really interesting. I get really, really good results on test 2, and test 1 is just garbage all the time. And test 1 is more power hungry than test 2, so... It's just odd because, like, usually... Like, I can beat almost everybody's test 2 scores. Actually, I've beat Pulse's. I don't know anyone with a better test 2 score than mine on 3-way. But test 1 scores, I'm rubbish. Like, I'm losing 6 or 7 FPS to everyone. Well, this might be an easy win. I'm pushing 20 more FPS. 5960X for the win. Incidentally, the score for 3-way that I'm trying to beat, I'll drop it in the chat, is this. There. That is the best 3-way score currently, according to the 3Dmark database. For extreme, so... Oh wait, did I just run Firestrike? No, right, no. Oh, this is bad. This is really, really bad. That's flopping around the 30s. Okay, I guess that won't be a win. Yeah, okay, I need to drop the volts on the cards. But mostly it looks okay. Mostly. And I'm getting huge boost in physics. Yeah, Windows 7 for CPU benching all the way. Like, seriously, look at, like... I mean, it's like, I don't know what, like, sure, my GPU score is way down, right? Like, before I was getting, like, 25, 26K. But, check that, 24K. Pulse, 88, who currently holds the 3-way Firestrike records on Hardware Bot with the Fury X, he's getting 24K at 5 gigahertz 40. I'm getting 24K at 4.9. So Windows 7 all the way for physics. And then my combined score is way down because stuff. So let's go fix the graphics cards. If I fix the graphics cards, I'm gonna... Also, this is with tessellation, obviously, so, you know. That also brings down the graphics score a lot. So this is pretty much expected results. I can't say I'm annoyed. Let's go blow the score up. Cards are synchronized. I don't have... No. Is that... Seriously? Is it gonna... Oh, it's not complaining. Good. Okay, it's not complaining. I was worried it would be complaining about not UL ultra low power state being disabled, which would suck because, you know. Okay, let's bring the main card back up, and at this point I should have 3-way victory for the official rankings, and then I can worry about hardware bot rankings. You know, sometimes I wonder if I wouldn't have been happier with a 980 Ti. And then I realized I'd have to deal with NVIDIA drivers and like, no. It's like, at least here I can set the clocks with like fixed numbers, and I'm still really low on the FPS here. Oh, right, I've freaking tessellation. I keep forgetting that I'm not running with like I'm running without tessellation, so actually getting 140 is good when before I was getting 160 here. Like, you know, peak. I don't remember the average frame rates at all. I just remember the peaks because basically that's the only place like that pretty much shows you for Firestrike where how you're doing. Unigen, the peaks are just useless, completely useless. Unigen is all about well, like the problem with Unigen with 3 graphics cards is it's a benchmark run at like 1050p, right? So there's like not enough pixels to push. And basically, you get a massive, massive CPU bottleneck the moment you have something like 2 Fury X's. Even the world record for Unigen currently on LN2 is held with a 980 Ti clocked at like 2 gigahertz and a 6 gigahertz 6700K. So it's a huge CPU bottleneck on that benchmark at this point. And it's really something that annoys me on the hardware bot right now is there's no like there's GPU Pi and GPU Pi is pretty much the only pure GPU benchmark we have. Everything else in the 3D world like 3Dmark, Catzilla, Unigen, it's really you gotta just everything. You got to run everything. It's not just about, not just about your graphics cards. If it was just about my graphics cards, then I wouldn't be running 4.9 gigahertz. Oh, that glorious physics score. I think this Windows 7 install is pretty good actually at this point. I was concerned that it would be performing badly, but so far it's doing fine. Like, because I'm running tessellation on, so it's not comparable to any of the hardware bot scores, but at least against the 3Dmark scores on the 3Dmark website, I think at this point it should be the best. Should be. It's too bad I can't run 3 graphics cards with 600 HBM. I might have to add like another capacitor or two, or maybe get different capacitors for the cards. Because yeah, I had a discussion with somebody who has more experience in like electronics engineering than me, and like yeah, I basically look into some different capacitors for lower ESR. Maybe some like 100 UF ceramics, but ceramics are a pain to work with. 22K, 24K, 8K. What is the record? Oh, damn. I need more. Still not there yet. Also, this should be the... No, this is still normal. Oh, well. So, Okay, so at least I'm gonna almost certainly beat this score, but here's the thing. So, 22K, 24K, 8K versus, the one I posted into the chat. So I need to do, I still need to do something about those graphics cards. Yeah, but what's he running for clocks? He's running 1160 by 550 while I'm running 1100 by 550. I can clock more. Though my efficiency is rubbish. Like my efficiency is really, really bad. He's getting like 2K more with basically barely any MHZ more, like basically the same megahertz. So yeah, he's only 60 megahertz above me, and he's scoring like 10 FPS up on every test. So again, my ability to tweak GPUs shines through. I'm so bad at it. Okay, let's apply that. Card 2, 1150, please. Apply that. Card 3, 1150, please. Apply that. Oh, the temperatures on these things are so good. 30 degrees. Okay, let's roll. One last run. This time I should win. This time I should really win, or I'll feel embarrassed. 10 megahertz less than the best guy, so, you know. I don't know. I should maybe pull out my tweaked Trix version for even less VCore. And pull the 1.4 volt card down further. God damn it! That's CPU. That was just clock interrupt, so yeah. Did I not press the reset button? Okay. Can I get this? I really can't move this camera closer. I need to get some kind of like desk tripod so you can see better. Or I need to get a capture card, but obviously 3 Fury X's and I'm broke. Oh, it's not asking to check the discs any longer, so that's a win. Work. Yay. Oh no, it is asking to check the discs. Stupid thing. You know, I usually like to benchmark with some music on, so yeah. I'm gonna go get something to listen to. And let's see, where's control? Yeah, so this is why I like tricks so much. Right here. See? So, da-da. Come on, focus, you fuck. Ta-da. Nah. Can we get it? Yes, it focused. So, system crashed during your previous trick session. Would you like to restore the settings? Nope, not you. Yes. And we're back at what we started with. Isn't that great? And I think it even remembered all 3 cards, did it? Oh, no, it didn't. Oh, well. Now it's easy, because I just need to punch in 1150 on all 3 of them, so... 1150 by 550 by minus 75, apply, then we can pull, then I, desync them. Then go, oh wait, no, it's not synchronized, apply. There, so now it's synced, desync, apply, and now I just need to check the settings, good, good. All good, yay. All the fan speeds are at 100% as well. No, this one isn't. Oh my god, that's bad. Fan speeds should be always at 100% with these. Coulda. Okay, so let's rock and roll. It's too bad this isn't hooked up to the internet, so I don't know if the score is valid yet. I should probably, like, test validate one of the scores just to check. Ooh, and this might be on an old version of System Info. Ooh, that's bad. They might not take my validation. That sucks. I don't know. Camera, what are you doing? Huh? There we go, focused. Yeah, it looks like the FPS is mostly okay. Well, that looks like physics crashed. I think I'm just gonna run it over again. Yeah, all the cards are set right, so... That was a CPU crash. At least we have the convenience of Turbo V-Core. Wait, what? No! I think I just seriously degraded my 5960X. That was at 1.6. I had system agent at 1.6 volts. Well, it's at 1.19 now, so I'm surprised it ain't dead. Do we still have all my memory channels? Yeah, we still got 16 gigs, so that's good. Oops. And luckily I got two of the damn things. Because I still haven't managed to sell the one that's not in the system, so let's run that again. I might need to downclock the worst card. I don't think it's good enough for tessellation. Yeah, I need to down. Wait, no. Okay, I'll drop the damn encore. Shit. That's broken. I really hope everything is still fine after 1.6 system agent. That voltage is stuck at 0.9 or something like that. So, yeah, I ran it like 200% out of spec. Everything seems to be working fine so far. Yeah, that's not good. So I said 1.16 when I was typing that in, but it's at 1.6. So that's really, really not great. 1.2. Stupid motherboard didn't even warm to me. Like, I really don't know what Asus is doing these days, like, especially on the Rampage 5. It just feels so... Z77. Nah, unfortunately, I don't have any experience with yeah, basically, never did Sandy Bridge, and I never did Ivy Bridge. So Z77, Z68, P. But Z77 should just be a case of like, Z77, it's like you just need, like, yeah, so that was like, the VRM still matters on those, kinda, but really you just need to feed it like one point, like, it's like a simpler. But Z77 should just be a case of like, Z77, it's like you just need like, yeah, so that was like, the VRM still matters on those, kinda, but really you just need to feed it like one point, like it's like a simpler Haswell basically, because you don't have uncore frequency and you don't have VCC in, you don't have uncore voltage. You just have system agent and you have your vCore. System agent controls how much memory clock you can do, and vCore controls how much core clock you can do. Like, it doesn't really get simpler than that, in my opinion. So, synchronize. Boom. Yep, all three cards are. Why the hell does this card keep going down on the fan speed? That's just like, what the hell? Apply. And let's Don't include the stupid demo. Run. I need some space here. There we go. Focus. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna. You can't see anything anyway. I really wish I had some better way of. Can I maybe tape it to this box here? I really need to get a capture card. Like, that would work. There. There, you can sorta see what I see now. Sorta. Just gotta tape it in place. That's not long enough. There we go. I think the FPS counter is probably the most interesting thing, isn't it? And it's still not going to be visible. Let me try fix that. Logitech. Yay! I do have the software for this stupid thing. What the hell? Did it work? Okay, we're getting physics. So for some reason, I can't access the web camera controls. Oh well. I guess I'll just try get you close enough that you can actually see the frame rates, eh? Focus, keep focus, keep focus. There we go. Yeah, it's too bright. It's way too bright. Yeah, I can't get it. I could maybe mess with the contrast a little. There we go. Yes! Yeah! Burn! 20K. How's my efficiency though? Garbage, unsurprisingly. I'm scoring about a K down with a 10 megahertz less. But it's a victory. And a victory is like, sure, it might not be entirely fair because I'm on a 5960X, but why would I care? Stupid camera. Well, now it's even more broken than when I started. Did the controller actually come up? Where? There is no controller for this stupid thing. How am I supposed to? Um, okay, so I'm gonna, I don't know. Will it? Will it? Stare into the 20K. Work. Yeah, it's decided to just not do anything. Okay, I'm gonna stop the stream for a bit, try fix the camera, then come back.